Alright boys, listen up, because this one's actually wild. In case you've been sleeping under a rock, the Michelangelo chase is officially live inside Raid Shadow Legends. Yeah, that's right, they actually dropped the party turtle himself. And here's the deal, all you gotta do is log in for 7 straight days. That's it. Day 7, boom, Michelangelo in your account. Free legendary, no questions asked. We've seen this before with login legendaries like Alex and some of the other freebies. But trust me, Michelangelo ain't just another dust collector champ. We're gonna break down exactly how good he is on paper, what the community's saying, and of course take a deep dive into his abilities so you know exactly what you're getting. But before we even get into all that, let me just say this. If you've been even thinking about starting a brand new raid account, bruh, now is literally the best time to do it. I'm talking triple legendary starter pack level of good. Like free cheat code kinda good. Check it, Michelangelo is the 7-day login legendary. That's already solid. But if you hit the special beginner link down below in my description, not only are you locking in Michelangelo, but you're also snagging yourself Elenaril as a free starter legendary. On top of that, they're tossing you some free epics as you level up, and then day 1, boom, Tholen Foulbeard drops into your account if you use that beginner code Demon Slayer. That's literally 3 legendaries in your first week. No wallet required, bro. I'm not even exaggerating when I say it. This is the juiciest starter deal we've seen in a hot minute. If you or one of your buddies is finally ready to hop on Raid, you gotta use that link down below before this window closes. Free Michelangelo, Elenaril, Tholen, some epics sprinkled in. It's a damn buffet, bro. Is it worth investing your sweet, precious books into this champion once you get him? Or should you just collect him to keep in the champion vault? We're gonna see what the champion can actually do. Let's see. Is he good? Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the basics. Well, let's talk about his skills first, and we'll kick it off with the first one. Boo-yah level 1. This skill attacks one enemy 2 times, and here's the kicker. If either of those hits is a crit, Michelangelo drops a 50% increase attack buff on himself for 2 turns. Damage scales off his attack stat. Now at first glance you might be like, pretty standard, but let's unpack it. Multi-hits in Raid are always valuable because they give you extra chances to crit, extra chances to proc gear effects, and they can punch through things like shield sets or bosses with damage caps. Pair that with the fact that he's self-buffing on crit, and suddenly this becomes a really solid starter move. That increased attack buff is also no joke. In Raid, attack-based champions live or die by whether they have that buff active. And since it's a 2-turn buff, that means he's not just buffing once and it's gone. He can keep that cycle rolling, crit again, refresh it, and basically stay in that powered-up mode as long as you're landing crits. So, if you build him with high crit rate, and let's be honest, you should be doing that anyway, this first skill alone is keeping his damage output high and reliable. So yeah, on paper Boo-yah might look like just another A1 attack, but in Raid terms, it's actually setting the tone for him being a self-sufficient attacker. He doesn't need babysitting to get rolling. He can buff himself, crit consistently, and scale hard off his own attack. That's a solid foundation. Next up, we've got his second skill, Express Delivery. And trust me, this one's got some serious sauce. So here's how it works. It's a 4-turn cooldown skill that attacks a single enemy. Before the attack even lands, Michelangelo has a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. That's already fire because in Raid, decreased DF is the bread and butter debuff for nuking. If your target doesn't have it, your damage is basically cut in half. The fact that he brings it himself means he doesn't need to rely on your usual DF down champs like War Maiden, Stag Knight, or Lydia. He's got it baked right into his kit. But wait, it doesn't stop there. On top of that, he's got a 75% chance of placing a stun for 1 turn. Crowd control plus defense break in the same skill? That's a nasty combo. Stuns are especially juicy in Arena or Doom Tower waves because they shut someone down completely. Now here's the fun part. If this attack crits, and again, you're building him with crit rate, right? He ignores 25% of the target's resistance. That's huge, because high-res teams are normally built to shrug off debuffs. Ignoring a chunk of their RES basically means his debuffs are landing a lot more reliably than your average champ. And then we get to the real spice. After the attack, he spreads all debuffs from the target to every enemy. Yup, that means if he smacks someone with Def Down and Stun, and maybe they already had Poison, HP Burn, or whatever, he's just copy-pasting that pain to the whole enemy team. And just like the first hit, the spread also ignores 25% of each target's RES if the initial attack was critical. That's insanely strong because debuff spread skills are rare and usually locked behind legendaries like Vizier or a few niche champs. So let's zoom out for a sec. In Raid, skills like this are gold because they're multi-layered. You're not just hitting hard, you're setting up your own damage, controlling the fight with stun, and spreading the nastiest debuffs around the battlefield. That means Michelangelo isn't just a selfish nuker, he's doubling as utility. He's softening enemies, locking them down, and making life easier for your whole squad. Bottom line? Express Delivery is one of those skills that screams versatility. You can run him in Arena to set up nukes, in Clan Boss or Hydra to spread debuffs, or in general PvE, where locking down waves and multiplying debuffs can basically win you the fight. And the best part? Since so much of it is tied to crits, if you build him right, he's landing that debuff spread and ignoring resists way more often than not. This isn't just a fun move, it's straight up a game changer in the right comp. Now let's check out his third skill, Shell Cyclone, level 1. This is a big one, literally, because it's an AoE attack that smacks every enemy on the field. It's on a 5-turn cooldown, which is a little chunky, but the value here is crazy. So here's what happens. Before damage, Michelangelo has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease ATK debuff and a leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. And if that wasn't enough, if he crits, he ignores 25% of each target's RES. Same story as his other skills. You build him with crit rate, and suddenly those debuffs are sticking even against high-res teams. In Raid, this is one of the most important survival debuffs in the entire game. Against Clan Boss, Hydra, Dungeon Bosses, or even in Arena, cutting enemy attack in half is the difference between your team getting nuked into oblivion or surviving to fight another round. If you don't have a consistent decrease ATK champ, runs just get way riskier. Michelangelo dropping at AoE is a massive win. Leech. Okay, here's where people sleep on this one. Leech makes it so that any champ hitting an enemy with Leech heals themselves for 18% of the damage dealt. That's free sustain, bro. It turns your whole squad into mini lifesteal machines without having to waste gear sets on it. For Clan Boss especially, Leech is god tier. It lets your damage dealers stay alive way longer without needing dedicated healers. So you're hitting all enemies, dropping damage output, and at the same time, turning your entire team into self-healers. That's double utility baked right in. And then, because why not, after doing all that, Michelangelo places a taunt buff on himself for 2 turns. That's basically him saying, yo, hit me instead of my teammates. And with the enemies already sitting on decrease ATK, they're doing less damage when they swing at him. So he's not just dishing out control, he's also pulling aggro and soaking hits to keep your squishier allies safe. This makes Shell Cyclone one of those skills that's deceptively powerful. In Arena, it weakens enemy nukers and gives you sustain. In PvE, it's clutch against bosses, waves, or Hydra because you're combining debuff control with team healing. And that taunt on himself? That adds a tanky layer of utility you don't usually get from an attack-based champ. Alright, now we get to the real fun stuff, the passive, and this one's got some serious Ninja Turtle flavor. It's called Party Dude. Let's start with the passive effect. Michelangelo has a 15% chance to evade an enemy skill and all of its effects. That means he doesn't just dodge the damage, he's also dodging whatever nasty extras were supposed to come with it. Debuffs, stuns, nukes, you name it. And if he's under that taunt buff from his Shell Cyclone, that evade chance jumps up to 30%. That's nearly a 1 in 3 chance he just says nope to an attack entirely. In Raid, evasion mechanics are super rare. Most of the time you're dealing with straight resist or block. Having built-in dodge mechanics gives him this slippery, unpredictable edge that makes him super annoying to deal with on defense. Now here's where it gets spicy. Team synergy. Whenever Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, or Raphael attack, Michelangelo joins in. Yup, that means he's always hopping into the fight with his brothers. That's basically a free ally attack mechanic tied to specific champs. If you're running the Turtles squad together, this passive makes him feel like a tag team fighter. More hits means more damage, more debuffs landing, and more chances to keep his buffs and procs rolling. It's not just flavor, it's actually strong synergy if you've got the squad built. And then there's the active effect. Whenever he takes a hit, he places a shield buff on himself equal to 300% of his ATK for one turn. That's wild, because most shields in Raid scale off HP, not ATK. Here, his offensive stat is doubling as defense. So every time you tag him, he bulks up with a massive shield that keeps him alive for the next swing. Pair that with decreased ATK from Shell Cyclone and the fact he can just straight up dodge skills sometimes? Yeah, this dude's survivability is way higher than you'd expect from an attack-based champion. Put it all together, and Party Dude makes him tankier, more synergistic in turtle teams, and way more annoying to fight against. Is he good? Basically, is it worth investing your books into Michelangelo, or is he just gonna sit in the vault looking pretty? Now, my overall take? He's not trash, and he's not busted OP either. He's sitting in that sweet spot where he serves his purpose really well, especially for players progressing through the game or those who don't already have crazy stacked accounts. His utility is top tier, no doubt. His damage? Honestly, it's decent. From what I've seen so far, it's better than people might think. But let's be real, we still need to fully test him once he's officially in our hands. So don't get overly hyped just yet. The day we actually unlock him, I'll put him through his paces. And trust me, we'll have a great time breaking him down properly. And of course, when that happens, I'll be right back here to share all the details with you guys. That's everything I've got on Michelangelo for now. Let me know what you think of him in the comments below. I want to hear your takes. Michelangelo's bringing that passive evade, turtle synergy follow-ups, the huge 300% shield when he gets hit, and that nasty 70 accuracy aura. For new players, he's just straight up awesome. One of the most valuable champs you can grab early. And just like I said earlier, if you're even thinking about starting fresh in Raid, now's the time, man. Hit that special beginner link in my description, lock in Michelangelo, stack up Elenaril, and grab Tholen Foulbeard with that Demon Slayer code. That's your triple legendary cheat code to kick things off. So yeah, are you chasing Mikey or passing on him? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next breakdown.